Hello. How are you guys? I hope you're good. I'm just getting my music on. There we go. I feel like I've Pavloved dogged myself because when I start the Stitchalong, I feel like I need to start the music at the first song or it doesn't make sense. So there we go. Today what we're going to do is woven wagon wheel roses. Let me tell you, this color hates to see me coming because I use it all the time now. I've even got a sweater on that's the same color today. And I was looking at my wardrobe the other day and I've got two other shirts or sweatshirts that are almost the same color. So clearly I've gone through a phase of just really loving this color. So what we're going to do is woven wagon wheel roses, and what you need to do is make a circle. That's it. So you do a circle, and we're going to put either a dot in the center of the circle, or we're going to put a circle in the middle, and then we're going to draw some spokes around, okay? Depending on how big your circle is, you can either put 3 spokes, 5 spokes, 7, 9, do you see where this is going? 11, 13. But you just can't have an even number of spokes, okay? So it has to be an odd number. So let's draw them in and then we can get stitching. So I'm going to put probably one here, like this kind of, maybe like that. Yeah. And then obviously you can put them anywhere you want to, okay? All my stuff is kind of going that way, and I kind of want to keep it around the same area like this. So I think I'm going to put one over here, and maybe a small one up here or something. I don't know. I'm only going to do one though, but I've got the 3 different sizes because I want to show you kind of how okay, I'm going to put my finger up like this. Yeah. If it's about this size, I would do 7 or 9 spokes. If it's this size, I would probably do 7. If it's this size, I would do 5. If it's smaller than that, do 3. Okay? You can even do up to 11. So if you want to do a really big one, like the size of this one, a very, very big one, you could even do 11 spokes. All right? How I do my spokes is I try and think of it as a half circle. All right, a little bit more than half, and do 4 on one side and 3 on the other. Okay, so you're gonna kind of go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and pretend that all these spokes are coming out with the very center. Okay, so all of these here is what we're gonna stitch. 1, 2, whoopsies. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We want to try and keep all of our spokes about the same size. So we don't want one to be really, really long and other ones to be really short. This one here, I'd probably do 7 as well. This one here, I'll do 5. Okay. Now, the other thing that you can pick is if you want to have a middle or not. All right. I don't know if I have done any here. Here we go. So if you have a middle, it will look like this. You'll have a hole in the middle where you can put French knots. You can put a weaving stitch in the middle. You can fill it with straight stitches. You can do anything. Okay. Anything you want in the middle. Or you can have no hole in the middle like this one. This one here, I didn't put a circle like that. I made all of the spokes go to that center line like this. Okay, pretend it like that. Also, can you guys hear me? Because I was playing around with a new microphone earlier. Can you just give it a really quick thumbs up if you can hear? Because I've been talking for a while and I forgot to ask. I hope you can hear me though. Yes, okay, good. Because like I said, I was playing around with a new microphone, and when I pulled it out of my phone, I just like pulled it out and like put it to the side. I didn't even check like if it worked or anything. Okay, so this one here has no hole in the middle, so all of the spokes go straight to the middle through the same hole, and then you're going to weave around them. So let's get started. But yeah, you know those little like tiny microphones that people are getting? I got one. So God knows what I'm going to do with it, but I'm thinking about starting a new Instagram for just like playing around. It's going to be like my fake influencer page, you know, where I'm just like posting about all the things I want to post about, and then maybe people will stop shouting at me every time I post something that's not embroidery on this page, because every time I post anything that's not embroidery, somebody gets mad. Okay, for this one, we're going to use all 6 strands. And also, we want a longer piece of thread than we normally would. So if you are used to working with short, like 30 centimeter or like 40 or 50 centimeter ones, make it much longer. Okay? We're going to put a knot on the end. I'm trying to do it quickly, you know? Right. So what we're going to do here is just go over these spokes that we did. So we've got up, just straight stitches. I always put a little bit extra as well because we're using some of our thread for the spokes. So this is going to be a weaving stitch if you haven't surmised that already. And we're going to go over, under all the spokes, round it. Your page, your content, your choice. Yeah, it's true, but I don't know. We'll see. I would obviously just keep embroidery stuff on this one, but I think sometimes it might be nice to have a new one to just like do what I want and not have to worry about. I don't know. Also, like I haven't, the thing with this page, with my Barmy Fox page, I've got a knot on the back, so I've got a bit of a kerfuffle here. The problem with the Barmy Fox page is that I haven't been very good at posting. I've done the Stitchalongs and stuff, but I don't post a lot on stories, and I don't post a lot, there we go, much better. I don't post a lot on the actual grid. So, yeah, I don't know. It's hard having a small business, yet being a human, things are not just all black and white. I keep getting kicked out. Oh no. Yeah, it's hard. But then I think maybe I need just to like start over, not necessarily with embroidery, you know, but just like sometimes I just want to post like my own stuff, like whatever I'm doing, like kids crafts, or like I'm trying to, this is just boring stuff now. It's just, I'm just being a bit of a sado. But like I'm trying to find myself from being a mom, you know? So part of it is that I kind of want to like try new things, and when I do that on this page, I think a lot of people are like, no thanks. And then you get people unfollowing, and then the old algorithm's like, no thanks, we're not going to show you to anyone now. So it's like thing after thing after thing. I don't know, I'm just moaning now. But what we're going to do is we're now going to come up between two of these spokes. It doesn't matter which one. So I came down here. I tend to just come up between the next two. Okay, so not in the middle, just between these two. So 1, 2 here, just right kind of on that inner circle. Yeah, I'm going to try to zoom in a bit so that you can like really see what I'm doing. But sometimes it gets a little bit Yeah, see? So from here on, you're going to go round and round and round and round and round until you fill up the entire area, okay? I like to do under first because I think it makes it so it doesn't cut across like that. It makes it so it kind of goes under first. It makes it like a nice, I don't know, I just prefer that. Try it both ways though. And you're literally just going to go under, over, under, pull it, and then go all the way around, okay? Making sure that you just do the opposite of the one that you just did before, all the way around. So this one's a little bit easier than like a regular weaving, because with regular weaving, sometimes you have to really pay attention to the shape and if you need to go over or under or what's the deal. With this one, it's a bit more mindless. You just like throw it round, okay? The other thing is that your inside circle does not have to be as small as mine, all right? So like this, you could have an inside circle. Yeah, here's your circle. You could have just a dot and have all your spokes go to the dot, all right? You could have an inside circle that's quite small, where you have just a tiny little area in the middle where you can put a couple little French knots or a couple little straight stitches, something like that. But the other way that you can do it is you could have the same kind of size, but you can make it like that. So you have a much bigger circle in the middle. That's going to be filled up with your French knots or your straight stitches or weaving or whatever you want to do. And then sorry, I had to really concentrate there. Then your spokes will be really quite short. Do you see? Just really tiny little ones like that, okay? But you need an odd number. You cannot do it with an even number. And the reason for that is that you're just going to keep going under the same one and over the same one as you go around. So as I've gone around so far, only like 2 or 3 times, you can see that right here, we've got just say for this spoke here, for example, we've gone under and then over and then under. And what's happening is it's covering up all of those under ones. So it's covering up the spokes by going over. And it gives a nice little like flowery kind of look to it, you know, like a budding rose, dusty rose. Any Twilight fans? That's like my favorite line. It's like a dusty rose. So there we go. I'm not gonna lie, I find that people like these or they do not like these, and I find them a little bit boring to teach because you just literally just go round and round and round until you fill it up. But I do have to fill it up because I want to show you how to end it. So what you're gonna do, there's a couple scenarios that we need to go over. So the first one is that you run out of thread, okay? Which is so annoying for this because really you just want to go around and round. Okay, really you just want to go round and round and round, and then hopefully you'll have enough thread and you'll just, put your needle back down and you'll be done, okay? But you might want to change colors. You might want to stop here and put another color for the outside edge. You might want to change colors multiple times. So think about having like a dark red and then a medium red and like a really light red or like a pink. So it looks like it's dark in the middle and then it goes lighter as you go out. You might want to use a variegated thread, and maybe you just didn't put enough thread on your needle in the first place. And therefore you need to not change color, but add more color. You didn't fill up the spokes. So there's lots of reasons as to why you might need to do this, okay? So I'm just going to go around maybe 1 or 2 more times, and then I'm going to show you how to do that, how to change colors or how to start again. All right, this is a good place to do it right here because on the bottom you'll be able to see it easy. The other thing that I see people doing is you're pulling this right here way too tight. So if you look on the back, that's all the stitches that are on the back. Those are the spokes that we did in the first place, okay? On the front, these right here are just surface stitches. So all of these stitches here are just laying on the surface of your fabric, okay? If you're going to snag these, so you take your needle and pull up, it's going to take all of the threads and pull them up, okay? So keep that in mind if you are trying to put this on something else, like in our book, okay, for the other stitch along. Just keep in mind that you're going to want to be a little bit extra careful with these ones. Or if you're going to put them on a jacket or a tea towel or something like that, I wouldn't recommend this because it's going to come unraveled and then you're going to be upset, okay? So really quickly, this is how I normally start a new color or add more thread if I run out of thread, okay? So pretend I don't have much thread left because I actually have loads. like loads and loads. Okay. So what I do, right, is I like to go where there's either an over and under right where that spoke is. Okay? So this one here was an under and this one is an over. All right? So you're just going to find like the nearest spoke basically. Okay? And what you're going to do, so I'm going to do this one here, is it works better for an over because you can really tuck it in. You're going to put your needle in on an angle. Can you kind of see how it's like tucked up under there? Yeah? Put it in on an angle like that. Okay? Done. Now, flip it over. This is where your thread has come out. Tie a knot and do it very carefully. So you're not going to pull this as tight as you can. It's going to pull all your threads through, okay? Just do a little knot. Do it gently, all right? You might need to hold the knot and really kind of make it tight like that. Then you're going to get your new bit of thread, whether that's a new color or the same color. You're just like, restocking your needle or whatever. And you're going to come up on the other side of that spoke on an angle. Okay. See it? On an angle like that. Now you can carry on doing your over-unders just exactly how you were before. So I'm obviously doing a blunt needle, so I'm just changing back to my blunt needle because I was doing good with that. Okay, so now it's over, and we're just going to go straight back into it exactly how it was before. And then when you go around, you're not even going to be able to see where you changed color, or, well, you're going to see where you changed color because it's going to be a new color, but you're not going to be able to see where you redid your needle or anything like that. If you ran out of thread or whatever, you're not even going to see it. So for me, it was right here. And once we put this over top like that, you're not even going to be able to see it. Okay? There we go. Okay. Bear with me whilst I do this. Do we have any questions about anything that we've done this week so far? Have we done anything? Anything like crazy, wild, that you're like, I don't get it? I've had a question about the buttonhole stitch, so I'm going to send a video about that. I might do a video with my new microphone and just post it like as a reel, Now, if you miss a spoke and you accidentally do 2 overs or something like that, it will fix itself eventually as long as you keep doing over, under all the way around. It might look a little bit like thick in that area or something like that. But don't stress out. You don't have to take it out and redo it or anything like that. I will say you want to keep doing this until literally your needle underneath these anymore. All right? So, class, is this one finished? Is it done? No. It's not done. I do not want to see that, okay? It's not finished because I can still see the spokes, all right? So you want to really build it up. Now, some people do not like it a really big one, meaning it's kind of flat and thin on the middle, and then on the outside, it gets like a mountain because you're really cramming them in there, okay? See how you like it to look. If you are done, you can always kind of push them out like this to try and cover it up. Or you can do a little stem stitch around the outside. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Even though we're not really doing a stem stitch today. It's really just the woven wagon wheel. But I will show you how to do a stem stitch for the outside, just in case you're like, I give up. Okay, I don't want to do it. Because there is a little trick to that as well. Because with the stem stitch, it tends to look like a little rope. It's like we're like a whipped back stitch. It looks like a little kind of a ropey kind of look. You'll see what I mean in just a minute. So I'm going to start here again. All right. Let me switch to my other one, because with the stem stitch we have to still see a little bit, and you're like, oh, I just don't want to go around anymore. Maybe you've run out of thread. You don't have much left. Maybe you don't have any more color of that color left. Maybe you've just, it's a bore off and you don't want to do it anymore. Okay, whatever the reason, I got you. All right. What you're going to do is have a look for those spokes. Okay. And we're going to do kind of skip this one here and put our needle down at the next one. All right. And we're going to come up in the middle where this one is, right on the edge. So kind of like up on an angle. All right. Inside that loop. You too, Connie. Have a great weekend. And don't forget, I'll see you on Monday. Yeah? We don't have a video on Saturday or Sunday, so I'll see you on Monday. So the next one, again, skip that one you've just done and go to the next one. And then come up here. Doesn't have to be through the same hole, just in the general kind of area. And you're kind of pulling it out. Yeah, so if you pull it straight up, it might cut across. All right, so you kind of want to pull it out so it will lay flat around the outside. So again, skip that one, and we're going to go to this one. Skip that one and go to this one. So it's kind of giving like a nice outline to it, but it has the same kind of look. Has the same kind of look as the weaving. So it's a really nice way to like end your woven wagon wheels. Now, if you made it really small, so if you didn't make your stitches as big as I'm doing, yeah, because that's a big, big stitch. If you make them really small, you're going to get a tiny, tiny little rope look. And it's going to be very, very twisted, like very twisted. So I was literally just going to think, do I have one over here? Here's a smaller one. So do you see how this one is like really quite twisted? That's how it would look. And that's going to look really weird when you go around that whole thing, because it's going to look like you've put a little like rope around it almost. All right. So now we're almost back to where we started. We've got just one more. So put this one here. It works best if you put it on an angle a little bit. I really kind of get it in there. And then paused. Okay, we're back where we started from. This is where we started. And remember, we skipped that one, so we're just going to stick it up under there. Like that. Okay? Good. So the front looks like this. It's quite up off the fabric. and then the back will look like that with your stem stitch around it. Okay? So you're going to do the exact same thing with all the rest of the ones that you pick. You can always just do one now and do another one later and fill it up as you will, you know? So you don't have to do 3, you don't have to do 4, you don't have to do 2. You could just do 1 just to see how the stitch is, and then you can always decide later to do more or less. Okay, pulled that a bit tight there. But yeah, every single other one goes for the exact same thing. So you're going to do your spokes, then you're going to come up in between 2 spokes, and you're going to weave all the way around. Okay? So be sure to send me a picture of your embroidery by Sunday. And Sunday night, I'm going to pick someone for a £15 store credit to my shop. You can use it on anything that's in there. Get another Stitchalong, or you can get some physical products. It's completely up to you, whatever you fancy. Saturday and Sundays are catch-up days. We will not have videos on Saturday or Sunday. It's just for you to catch up, or you could make another one and use what you've learned, or you could stitch on tea towels or put it on a sweatshirt. You could do whatever you want to do. Yeah? So it's just like a time to have a break. Or you could do more stitching. It's up to you. So enjoy your weekend, and I will see you guys on Monday. All right? Bye.